All right, GM everyone, welcome to the stream. Today we are going to talk about blockchain and building on Ethereum. So just a quick, reminder, you can send your, chats in the comments and also in the chats. We are streaming this live on X, YouTube, and on other platforms as well. So you can just simply ask your questions, ask anything you want in the comments, quickly like and share, and then forward to your friend who is interested in building on blockchain. Okay, now we are going to start with blockchain, intro to Ethereum, and we are going to start with what is blockchain. So most of us wonders what blockchain technology is, what it is used to or used for, or what exactly are people building on the blockchain technology. So today let's take a deep dive into the blockchain ecosystem, look at blockchain, look at Ethereum, and let's start building our smart contracts. A blockchain is a public database that is updated and shared across many computers in a network. So the whole idea of a blockchain is to solve centralization problem where in recent years, banks used to have the database ledger in a centralized server where only them can access it. And so with that, we have developed a technology called blockchain, which is used to decentralize many applications or servers where the data will be publicly available for people to see, updated, and you as a user can also download that ledger onto your computers or on whatever device you have. So let's go into what a block is. So a block refers to data that is stored in a consecutive groups known as blocks. So what that simply means is if you send a transaction, what you are doing is you are minting a new block on the blockchain. And all of this will make sense as we see the definition of a chain, which refers to a block that is cryptographically referencing its parent. And in this context, we are talking about having the block linked to each other. So a blockchain is simply just a ledger or a block that is chained, and with the one you have, you can have information about the previous one, which will be linking back to the Genesis block, which is the first block to be ever created in chain. We are going to look at Ethereum, which is a blockchain that has been used across many jurisdictions, that has been used to build applications, dApps, and Ethereum has a unique feature, which is a blockchain that you can use to write codes, or you can publicly see the codes available. And we have protocols like Aave and other blockchain applications that you know that use Ethereum. Okay, so let's then look at the proof of stake, which is a consensus mechanism. So after building the blockchain, there have been many consensus, mechanisms like proof of work, proof of stake, which we'll look at. And consensus mechanism is just how we decide what blocks get to be minted on the blockchain. And Ethereum is using the proof of stake consensus mechanism, which means in order to mint a block as a miner, you have to stake an amount of ETH. So you need to stake native currency, which is ETH, as a collateral to run validator software. So these validators can then be randomly selected to propose blocks that other validators check and add to the blockchain. This is a system of reward and penalties that strongly incentivize participants to be honest and available online as much as possible. So as a miner, you can, mint new blocks. You can add blocks to the Ethereum blockchain, and with that, you you have a reward, which is an ETH, and you can, continue doing that, continue any reward, continue minting blocks by just taking an amount of ETH. So how Bitcoin goes about this is by using the consensus mechanism proof of work, which allows you to do a computation before minting a block, and that takes a lot of energy and time, which is the whole point of it, because as hard as it is to mint a new block, that is how we get to prevent people from just hopping onto this platform on a blockchain and then just minting random blocks or just doing stuffs that are not related or that we do not want on the blockchain. Now, what is Ethereum? Ethereum is a blockchain with a computer embedded in it. It is the foundation for building apps and organizations in a decentralized, permissionless, and censorship-resistant way. Ethereum was started just to, have a decentralized code where you can take a look at the code, which we call smart contracts. You can validate it, you can verify it before, executing that function. So to take a look at Ethereum, we have to first know what Ethereum virtual machine is, which is EVM. So EVM is the Ethereum network that is a virtual machine that allows you to, write your codes and execute it inside that virtual machine, and mostly deals with, Solidity, that allows you to write your smart contract and execute it in the EVM. Now, just as decentralization goes, everyone that participates in the Ethereum network keeps a copy of the states of this computer, which is the EVM we are talking about. Additionally, anyone can broadcast a request for this computer to perform arbitrary computation. Whenever such a request is broadcast, other participants on the network verify, validate, and carry out the computation. This execution causes a state change in the EVM, which is committed and propagated throughout the entire network. So as we can see, this is what we mean by decentralization. So as far as it's not run by one person, everyone has a copy of it. Everyone can verify, validate, and execute the computation, allowing you to, have your smart contract goes over there and eliminating the middleman or the central party involved. So most of the requests for computation are transaction requests that used to record of have a record of all transactions, and the EVM's present states get stored on the blockchain, which is in turn stored and agreed upon by all nodes. Now let us look at Ether. Ether is a native cryptocurrency of blockchain. The purpose of it is to allow for a market for computation. Such a market provides an economic incentive for participants to verify and execute transactions, request, and provide computational resources to the network. So it is an incentive on Ethereum, which allows you to earn whilst being a miner or whilst participating in the network. And most people earn by being a miner. Some also earn by building protocols on the blockchain. So it, as an example, we have Uniswap, we have Aave, which allows you to lend, borrow, and have Uniswap, which allows you to swap your tokens as well. All of those protocols are on the Ethereum network, allowing you to do much more than just transactions. You can swap tokens, you can earn, and all of those smart contracts are on Ethereum, which you can verify, validate, and execute. Now, for the main topic of today, what are smart contracts? So, in practice, participants don't write new codes every time they want to request a computation on the EVM. Rather, application developers upload programs, which are reusable snippets of codes into EVM state, and users make requests to execute these codes snippets with varying parameters. So with that, you just have to write your smart contracts and deploy it on Ethereum. And once it's deployed, anyone can call that smart contract function anytime with different parameters. So as we'll take a look very soon, we are going to write a simple smart contract, which is a bank, which will store users information or users balance and can allow for withdrawal and, you know, both withdrawal and depositing of funds onto the smart contract. This can be reused by anyone, and anyone with access to the Ethereum network, which we all know that is decentralized, and so you also can have access to it to execute those commands to store in that bank and to see actual balances they have in a decentralized way. Now, so let's go straight into Remix, which is Remix is an IDA for building smart contracts. So you can find Remix at remix.ethereum.org. Okay, all right. So with your Remix open, just follow along as I do. We write the smart contract. Okay, to get started, just start using a template. So create using a template. Just click on the workshop side, and then you can click on create using templates, and you'll see a window like this open where you can select the template you want. So for now, we are going to select, let's just go with the basic. Okay, let's go with the blank project. Now with this, you can see we don't have much file over here since we are not going to use any library. We can just have create a new file which we call bank.so, and with that new file we are going to start writing our smart contracts. So Okay, let's just wait for this to load and then. Okay, so back to, yeah, create a new file, call it bank.so, and with that file, we are going to start writing our first smart contract. Okay. Now, in order to start writing your first smart contracts, you need to specify a license. Okay. I don't know why, but there seems to be an issue with Remix. Just give me a second. Let me restart this window. Yeah, so bank.so. When I'm making this big, we are going to start with the license identifier. Yeah, so this keeps happening. Okay, so hopefully that should give you enough time to also have a remix. That should give you enough time to also have remix. And then we can then proceed to, creating a new workspace and then having your new Solidity file, which is bank.so. And now to get started, you have to write your SPDX license identifier. And I'm going to use MIT for this. And then that is, by the way, mandatory. So I'll explain in a bit. And we are just going to use Ethereum version 8.24. Now, to explain the first line of code and then the second, The SPDX license identifier is just a license you can use on your smart contract. And as we all know, license will help you secure your code in such a way that you can claim ownership of this and you can allow other people to use it as well. Yeah. So with the second line of code, we have the Pragma Solidity, and then you see the caret 0.8.24, which is the version I'm going to use. So I'm going to use Solidity version 0.8.24. And this is just to specify that is the version you are going to use. And this sign over here you see is just to let the compiler know that it can use this above this version as well. So it can be 0.8.24 and above. Now, in order to start writing your smart contract, just write contract and then write your contract name. In my case, it's bank. And then this is how you write a smart contract. So just a quick, walk through on how to compile your code before we dive into the real code or the real functions of this, contract. You can just come to the Solidity compiler tab and then click on compile to compile. And you'll see this green check mark saying compilation successful, which is showing you that you have successfully compiled your code. And you can see the compiler over here, which allows you to, select the compiler version. Yeah, select the compiler version you want to use. So in my case, I have used Solidity 0.8.24, and then I can run any version above that as well. That's why I have that version. Okay. All right. So that is it for the first. And just to, yeah, just to get started, you you can comment your questions in the chat, and also you can, just like reshare, and then you can comment, just chat in the live stream. I'll be able to see your questions if you have anything on this. Okay, so we are now going to continue writing our smart contract. Yeah, so to continue writing our smart contract after compiling this, we can then proceed to writing our functions, and you can then declare some variables inside this as well. So we'll start with our constructor, which is the first thing to do. And what this constructor is used for is to, first of all, whenever the code is deployed, this is the function that runs. So the constructor will run. So anything in this constructor will run. So in case I declare, let's say, I use this argument address, and I say, I name it add. So I can then, say the owner is equal to add. So the owner of this contract will be add, and this is how you, this is the code that will run when you first deploy the contract. Okay, so for the first thing to do, we have to write a function to deposit. So we are going to deposit in your bank, you have to deposit. You can also withdraw. So just to name the functions we are going to write, let's start with deposit. The second will be withdraw, which will allow you to withdraw funds, and we can have some getter functions, which after transfer, you can have getter function to check balance. Yeah, I think there's some issue with Remix today. So we can have some getter function to get balance, which will allow you to get the current balance you have. So we are going to write these 4 functions, allowing us to have access to our account, to transfer, to withdraw, and then to deposit. Now, when you are writing a function in Solidity, the first thing is function. The first thing is function, and then you name your function. So in my case, I'm naming this function deposit, and then you specify whether it is public, and then we have other things to specify as well. If it is a view function, if it is internal. So this is just the visibility of the function, allowing you to have this function, being able to call this function externally and internally as well. So we have visibility. I'll just talk briefly about that. We have public, we have public, we have internal, and then we have external. So to explain, let's start from internal. So internal is if this function is internal, that means you can only call it inside this contract. So any function in this contract can call it. So just to show you an example, when I say deposits, I can call this deposits inside this function. So I can make this one public and then say deposits, call this deposits. Yeah. So as you can see, I can call this and there will be no error. But if I change this to, let's just say this is internal, and then I change this to external. External allows, this function to be called from external sources, but not inside a smart contract. So as you can see, you have this error specifying declaration error, undeclared identified deposit is not yet visible at this point. However, we can all see that the deposit function is already there. That means it is only internal or public functions that are visible inside this contract. So as far as I declare this as external, the only person that can call it is external parties. That means people interacting with the smart contract can call it. And this is to prevent, let's say, cheating in smart contracts, because if this deposit function is internal, that means someone or the contract owner can just call it inside maybe a malicious function like the DD I just wrote. So this can be a malfunction, and then I can just fake deposit to someone. So if you write the whole contract, then you can see how to exploit this as well. So we have view, we have pure, and then yeah, with the view and pure, this view allows you to read the states. So you can view the states, you can read the states, and then the pure is just an execution. So you can just do an execution without reading or writing to the states. So just to see an example of the view, which allows you to just view. So you can just return something like return 0. Yeah, so you can just return 0. And we also have returns, which you have to specify when writing a contract, and you return the the value, which is join 256. So this can also be turn into a pure function because we are not reading any states. What we are actually returning is just this zero, which is not stored on the blockchain yet. So in order to store this, we can say uint 256, which is a type in Ethereum, and then we can say balance. And if we return the balance, you can see this is okay now because we have the external view and we specify the returns, which is it returns a uint 256. So a uint 256 is just an unsigned integer and then 256 bit. Okay, so this is the basics for function declaration, and I will just dive into the types we have. So we have uint 256, we also have uint. So if you start writing, you can see the types you have. So you can specify the ones you have. Is it uint 80, uint 96, 64, yeah, and all of this. So we are using uint 256 because a user's balance can be a lot more. So that's why we are using uint 256 for the balance. Now we have other types, which is string, and you can also declare string as maybe string name. So string is just something like your name, so Kaleo or something. So this can be a string, so we can declare this Kaleo, and yeah, this is the string for you. And we have a boolean, which is a bool. So okay, just go with this. Bool is bank is true, equal to true. So a boolean takes only two, which is true or false, and you can declare this by starting with bool and then the variable name, and then the value you are assigning to it. And as we can see, this is a public and this is a private, declarations. So with a public, you will say that the public is visible to anyone. So you can also go and then see anything that's public. But a private can only be called or seen in the smart contract. Even though Ethereum, just to, for your information, Ethereum, anything stored on a blockchain is public. However, this prevents a lot of stuff as well. So private means the contracts can see it. And when you are trying to call this, outside, let's say using your front-end application, this private will not be available for you to call. So for this public, you can see it as a getter function. So you can see something like balance. So on your contracts, you can call, let's say bank.balance. It will be visible for you to call, and then it will return to you the balance. So in our sense, for now the balance is 0. And for this private, when you do bank dot something like this, it will not return anything, or it is not valid because it's not visible. It will not be visible for you to call. So that's the difference between the public and the private. And this is the basis of building a smart contract. We can also take a look at more other stuffs as we go along. However, this is enough for us to start writing our smart contract. Just to mention, one of the types you have is the address, which allows you to store an address on Ethereum. So address will allow you to store the user's address, and we all know an example of an address is OX, and then you can write the I think it's 20 hex, yeah, character over there. Yeah. So we have these basics, and we are moving to a more complex. Not complex, is actually easy. So this, and then we go to the other tabs we have, which is the structs. We have mappings, and then let's say array declarations. So in order for you to specify an array or declare an array, you can just do array, and you can just do this public list 1 to 3. So this is an array, and you can see the number of items in this array, which is 3 items. And this is how you declare an array. And you can probably do the same for string, where you have string public list string, and then you declare it like that. Declare it like that. I seriously have no idea why this is remix is restarting, but you can see this string public list, and then you can see I've declared the array. And then we have mapping, which allows you to store it's kind of like an array. So just to explain, if you declare this, how you declare a mapping, and with the mapping you have the string pointing to a uint 256. And so what this is, let me just use the array for example. If you have an array, you can probably call this array as in list string, and then you can specify the item you want to take, and this will return the item, or you can even declare it like this, right? So this is how you do it. This is how you do it. And for mapping, if you are doing something like this, we are actually mapping a string to a uint256. That means the string will serve as the key, and then the uint256 will serve as the value. And you can grab these balances by specifying the user's name. So I can say Khalil, and then I can specify the amount I want to put in Khalil's balance. So you have Khalil equal to 108 or whatever. This is the basic stuff for mapping, and you can do nested mapping as well. But for now, just keep in mind that the first one we are declaring over here inside the mapping, parenthesis, is the string, which is pointing to a uint256. So the string is the key, and then the uint256 is the value. So without the key, you cannot get the value. So you need a key to get the value. And we are going to, write our smart contract in such a way that we can get many people to register and then store their balances. So we are going to start writing the serious code now, which is mapping, and we are going to declare an address to a uint256. So in this sense, the address is the address of the person depositing or the owner, and then the uint256 serves as the amount we are going to store or the balance. So balances can be this, and I'm just going to comment out this because we don't need it anymore. Comment out this and this. Comment out this and this. Now we are going to write our deposit function. So just to start all over again, we are going to write function deposit. We are going to declare it as a public. No, let's just do it as external, so no one in the smart contract can deposit. And we are going to make a lot of transactions in this. So we are actually just going to say the balance of the message.sender equal to the message.value. Now, writing this, we have the message.sender, and then we are going to add, the message.value. Now we are going to take a look at other things that I haven't talked about yet, which is a function can be declared as payable, which allows people to pay. When calling this, they have to pay to this function. So whatever the amount is, we are going to get it inside the message.value. So we have a global variable, or in this sense struct, which is message, and on this message we have we have value, we have sender, and this is just a way of getting some predefined things. So when the user is trying to call this, the message dot sender will be the person trying to call the function, and then the message dot value will be the amount is sending with this transaction. And then we have orders as well. So just taking a look at message dot block hash, which allows you to get a block hash. And then we have message dot block, we have the current block, and then we have timestamp as well. No, I'm not sure timestamp is here. We have block as well, so block dot timestamp, which allows you to get the timestamp. And we have a lot more. So this allows you to kind of have your function predefined, so someone can just do a deposit and you can specify the message dot. So this deposit is like you are depositing for yourself. However, as you all know, you can go to the bank and deposit money to other people as well. So just to get you started on that, we have arguments which you can pass. So we are going to pass two arguments, which is the person we are depositing to. So we just use account, so address, account, and then we are going to use just the message, the value over here. However, we are going to change this to the account that the person will be depositing to. So how to call this function is deposit, and then you put in the address of the person you are depositing to. So I'll just say account, and yeah, this is a payable function. So whenever you are trying to trigger this call, you'll be asked to pay an amount, or you can specify the amount you want to pay with it. So whichever amount it is, that's what we will be using. That's what will be the message of value, and will be added to the balance of the account. Now, one mistake most people do is to declare this like this. So balances account, and then they do equal to message dot value. So this is a beginner course. However, I'm teaching you how to secure contracts, because when you declare this balance account equal to message dot value, whatever the user has before in his or her balance will be overwritten by the current value you are depositing. However, if you use the first approach, what you are saying is you add the new amount you are depositing to the user's balance, allowing the user to have the funds that the previous one plus the new money he or she is depositing. So those are some of the lookouts when writing a smart contract, and we are just going to go straight to writing the withdraw function, which is something allowing you to withdraw funds from your account. So with this, we are just going to say the message dot value, which is the person withdrawing, should withdraw this message dot message dot value. So we are subtracting the message dot value from the. Okay, so this is not it. So in order to withdraw, you have to specify the amount you want to withdraw. So just putting that there, we have this amount which we are passing, and then you can just subtract the amount. Now this can serve as a basic deposit withdraw function. However, there are still things to look out for, because what if the amount you are withdrawing over here is not actually in your in your account? So we call something a require function, which is you have to require the balance of the message or sender to be equal to or greater than the amount before he or she can withdraw. So if does not have it, you can return an error message saying insufficient balance, because as we all know, you can only withdraw what is in your bank account, and if you don't have that, you cannot actually withdraw. So this is the basic withdraw function, and then we have a way of paying this user by saying payable message dot value. Okay, so this is getting annoying for now. Message dot sender, so the person withdrawing dot transfer. I don't know if I'm doing this right. Payable message dot okay. It's supposed to be, yeah, just use my brain from now on. Message dot sender, and then we have the transfer, and then we have the amount. Yeah, so this allows you to pay the message dot sender by transferring this amount to the message dot sender, right? So this is a way for you to get the funds out of this contract back to the person who is calling this, to the person trying to call the withdraw function. So this is just a way for you to pay or withdraw funds from this contract. As you can see, all of this is okay, and we are not getting any error. In order to verify that, let's just compile this. You see, yeah, successful. So we can check this auto compile. Whenever we make any changes, it will just auto compile the contract for us. Now we can then proceed to do other stuffs. I think, yeah, so at the moment I think there's an issue with remix, so I have to force create the application. I don't know why this is happening, but I hope this gets. Yeah, so I've restarted the browser, and just to take a look at the questions we have yeah, from Ken, loyalty impressive. Yeah, building on Ethereum is impressive. Just and then I'll probably be setting up the, yeah, so I'm still getting the same error, and then we have another one. So Evans is saying it's nice to build on Ethereum. Yeah, we've all seen that now. In the blockchain ecosystem, building on Ethereum is probably the best, and not limited to Ethereum. You can also build on other smart contracts as well. Yeah, it is an insightful session, allowing us to learn more about blockchain, have develop with Ethereum and other chains as well. Okay, just to fix the issue I'm having currently, so I'll be Yeah, so I think I need to update Remix in order for, yeah, to continue doing what I'm doing. Just give me a second, let me debug this issue and then, yeah, we can proceed. Okay. Okay, seems we are back now. Okay, just to fix things, I'll be right back. However, we have with us Ken Loyalty, which is the founder of and the CEO of Blockbridge Network, and he would like to talk with us about a few things we have and have a little discussion. So I'm bringing him on stage. Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, Ken Loyalty, can you hear me? Okay, so I think I'll just continue setting up, getting things ready when it's available. We can have a word with you about building on Ethereum, smart contract development, and also a few questions you have. So now is your time to, ask questions. Um, okay. Now, yeah, so since it's kind of working for now, so we'll be having other people on stage very soon, very soon, and I'm just going to, write the last function, which is get balance, allowing us to, get the user's balance. So what you have over here is an external function. Okay, just to wait a little bit. I know most of us are, anxious about this, trying to, um, yeah, get a few people on board to talk to you about building on Ethereum, smart contract developments, and a few things about blockchain. So let's just give them a second to join. And also, you can ask your questions in the chat. You can probably like, reshare, and then follow us. Whilst I deal with my technical difficulties, I would just like to hear from you guys as well.
Yeah, Jim,
Okay.
everyone.
Yeah, Jim, nice to have you, Ken Loyalty.
Yeah,
So let me just introduce Ken. Ken is the CEO and founder of Blockbridge Network. He's been traveling all around Ghana, preaching the good word, the good word of Web3 blockchain development, and has taken students from King UST and other campuses around Ghana on how to build with blockchain, connecting communities, and has done a lot more. So I'm happy to have Ken with us today. Ken, can you hear me?
yeah. Thank you very much for.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, so I think Africa in general is gaining grasp in terms of blockchain education. Currently, we are trying to embrace the technology, and it's massive. When you look at it as a success from 2015 coming, you get to know that the adoption rate is on uptrend. And with the application of blockchain, we all can bear witness that Africa will contribute a lot because we are the continent that we mostly have um, more applications of the blockchain. Yeah, so I think in the nutshell, Africa is gradually gaining growth in terms of the blockchain adoption as well. Ghana, just a small country within the Africa ecosystem, gradually we're also trying to catch up. Because I believe that those in Nigeria and then those in other countries like Kenya and South Africa, I think they're a little bit ahead of us. So we will never stop sleeping until at least each and every one here in Ghana, all those who are probably illiterate can at least in one way or the other interact with the blockchain, whether trying to be in a technical aspect or the non-technical. We all need solutions to help improve the ecosystem of Africa as well. All right, so I think I have Mr. Kenneth with me. He is the founder of Team Girls and Blog. teen girls in blockchain, trying to empower young girls, bridging the gap between the girl child education in terms of blockchain adoption. So we'd like to hear a word from him. Hello, Mr. Kennedy, can you hear me?
Much. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah,
Yeah, we can hear
Hello,
you.
can you guys? Okay, yeah, thank you very much. I'm happy to be here and also to be invited by you guys, Mr. Ken. So I don't know what the topic or discussion is about, but I would like to maybe have few inputs. So maybe you guys can run me through. But first of all, I will just do a mini introduction of myself. My name is my name is Ekene Kamchuku Ezala. I'm from Nigeria. Studied agric education in my degree. I'm also a compliance officer, certified compliance officer in the space. I also am a partnership manager for different brands as well. So I am the founder of Teen Girls in Blockchain, more like my passion, and something I discovered that it's important and necessary in the space and also society at large, because I found that
Yeah, so I think we lost Kene. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I think
yeah, can you hear me now?
yeah,
Okay, you guys can hear me, right?
yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much. So that was why we started TGIB. But what we do in this space, we try to create the enabling environment for younger girls to understand what the blockchain is, how the blockchain can benefit them, and what role they can also play by becoming part of the blockchain ecosystem. We started in Nigeria and moved to Ghana, then down to Congo, then down to Burundi. We are also doing something. We are trying to come up with things in Tanzania, in Kenya, Togo, and some other countries as well. So at the moment, these are some of the many activities we're trying to also do. We go to schools to enlighten and educate young girls. We also have people who have different skill sets, who have been able to learn different skill sets with our partners and also with us ourselves. We have people who have learned about smart contract, Web3, marketing, content, and graphic design as well. Um, yeah.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. Kenneth, for trying to reshape the girl child education in terms of the blockchain adoption. We really appreciate the effort we are putting in. We believe that together we can all work together to at least have a very impact across the globe. Thank you very much for that. All right, guys. So we can keep your comments coming. We're going to read everything here. In case you need some clarification.
Okay, thank you guys very much. So we have Brighton with us, and I don't know if you can still hear me, Ken. Okay, since Ken is off, we have Brighton with us. Please, Mr. Brighton, would like to introduce yourself. Tell us about the communities you've worked with, probably motivating people. I've been a huge fan of you ever since, so please go ahead. The stage is yours.
Hello, thank you. All right, GM, everyone. My name is.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah, Mr. Brighton, it seems you went off. Can you hear me?
All right, so all right, GM, everyone. Hello, thank you for. I don't know, but yeah, I've been in this ecosystem for quite some time. My name is Brighton. Um, work. Yeah, I can hear you. I mean, I've worked for a couple of blockchains and had to organize some events for. Yeah, I can hear you. I don't know whether you can hear me. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. So, as I said, this was quite some time. Okay. All right. So my wow, just keep playing back. Okay. Well, let me just continue. My motive in this space is to actually make or preach the good news of what blockchain technology is doing for. I mean, it's about to let um, um, the future blockchain technology or Web3 and the ecosystem has for Ghana or Africa in a large, I mean, as a continent. It's one of this. It's one of those things that I believe personally that is one of those things that is going to be elevating a platform for Africa and Ghana when it comes to finance, to transparency, when it comes to I mean authenticity, scalability, and all that. Blockchain is one or hear myself. And I'm always happy to actually get people in the space to get to about always also keep opportunity when they come my way to other people. And yeah, hopefully um, more things. I mean, more things are in the pipeline when it comes to Ghana and the government involved. The Indian government is so cooperative with when it comes to things of like I mean, when it comes to the digital of this space, and they have been so cooperative. I don't know whether you've seen regulatory regulatory framework which is being in place, which has we've already sent out some people who are operating within this space to fill out that I mean where time with the government when it comes to this space. Thank you, Carlo. I think you're doing a great job. Continue and yeah.
Yeah, thank you very much for having you with us today. And I really appreciate the work you've been doing, the work we've been doing with Ken, Kenner, and other blockchain as well. So thank you very much. We have back with us Ken Loyalty. Ken, would you like to continue?
Yeah, thank you very much. So Brighton has contributed massively in the Ghana tech space, trying to help any brand in terms of events and other aspect as well. Right now we have Mr. Scully in our mix, who works as a contributor, as a co-contributor to this to the Soul Network. So I would like to hear some words from him as well.
GM, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. I'm from Nigeria. Uh, I've been in this space for a few years. I would say three. So I would still consider that I'm a newbie. And if there's anyone on this call who thinks that blockchain has to be all technical, I'm a community builder. Never written a line of code. And then this was about smart contracts, right? Just trying to tell you that even if you don't get whatever they I know this is about 1 hour. I'm just getting to join a few minutes ago. So if the code you saw on the screen was kind of looking like gibberish, you might not understand. I want to just let you know that with time you can learn. I've been a dev rel even without getting to like write these codes. I don't know how many persons are on this call. How many of you are already thinking that blockchain has to be with codes, and if you don't get the codes right, you you, you don't have a place. So coming from a place of a community builder, can tell you there's a lot. There are soft skills. There are yeah, there are soft skills. There are things that you just need to move in with what you know already. Okay, so if you know how best to communicate, there are projects out there that are also looking for someone, a person that could actually communicate their vision, their mission to other persons. Okay, I'm in Nigeria, right? And there's a lot of projects that might want to be in Nigeria, and they are going to write codes. You could just start contributing to this project, and at the long run, bring the project to other Nigerians, right? So I'm just here to tell you that the blockchain is the future of tech. If we had AI, it might be fascinating. So don't back down if you can't write a line of code. Just look out to see how you can contribute to the blockchain ecosystem. So three is an industry, and then just like you have a company, you need those people who write the codes, you need managers, you need a lot of persons, right? So if you're in this space and you just join to learn more about smart contract and it looks foggy, relax. Web3 is broad. Blockchain is I don't is wide too. So that's just my contribution. And thank you for also thank you Ken for inviting me. I just got up, I was sleeping, and I just saw a call. Are you going to talk? It's about blockchain. And I've always thought myself that at any point in time, tell me to talk about blockchain. I'm always going to focus on the good part, right? I graduated from microbiology. I'm a microbiologist, right? And that was like 2022. But I've always been in blockchain since then. After my encounter with tech, I tried a few technical parts, but it didn't go well because to write the codes was a bit difficult for me. And I just stick to volunteering my communication skills, management skills. I've been able to build a few communities. I've been able to handle some partnerships. So I'm just saying this for someone who's on this call who is going to find the codes difficult. That's not the only thing you can do in blockchain. I think I've met um, Teen Girls blockchain, and they're doing amazing stuff. I'm getting to also meet Build Bridge now, right? That's in build bridge. Well, can
Yeah,
anyone
it is
see
block bridge network,
block?
block bridge
Yeah.
network.
So there's a lot more we can do in blockchain. There's a lot more. You can coordinate these people. I like the fact that people are getting to see the importance of technology and the possibility that things can go very well and be transparent with the blockchain. So with this, I'm just giving my own pep talk that just see how you can contribute to Web3 and let's see how we can help ourselves with the blockchain technology.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you very much for joining. And one nice thing about this community is that whenever you call upon them, they are always ready to show up. So as you all heard, he was sleeping before we called upon him to just come and give us a brief talk. But he was ready, he is ready, to join, and he has joined. And thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, so we are back to deploying our contracts. So as we all know, we have the smart contract we were writing, which is a bank allowing you to deposit funds, withdraw funds, and then you can view your balance. So this is a simple example of how you can build uh, things you can build on the blockchain and stuff you can do with the blockchain as well. Yeah. So we have the get balance, which is a function which will be public for everyone to see. And then we have the view function view, and then it returns you into 5C. So we are returning the balance of the user, and then we can do this by balances, and then we can say whoever you are trying to call. So this can call the message. This can get the balance of the message or sender, which is the person calling this function. So with this, you can kind of deploy this and then have, your smart contracts called by people. So not to get much into details because I'm currently having issues with Remix. I don't know why, but maybe it might be the recent update. I'm just going to compile this code and then compile successfully, and I'm going to deploy this. So you can come to the deploy tab and then deploy this contract and interact with it. So you can use the Remix VM, which is an environment allowing you to, deploy smart contracts, interact with smart contracts without, spending gas fee or maybe using the testnet as well. But you can open this and connect, your wallet and stuff to kind of use that. But right now we are just going to use the Remix VM, and you can just click on deploy to deploy the contract. So as we all have seen, this should be able to deploy, and we should be able to get a balance deposit and get a balance. Okay, so on the deployed tabs, you can see the deployed contracts, and with the deployed contracts, you can actually expand this. Just going to expand this, and then you see the functions on it. So we see the deposit, we see the withdrawal, we see the balances. We see the balances. So with the withdraw, deposits, balances, and then get balances. So as I've already said, these balances, since I've declared it as public, you can anyone can view it. So let's just start with deploying. So I'm going to use this account over here. Just copy the account address and then paste it over here, and then you can transact, right? Now we can get the balance over here by just specifying the balances. You see right now is 0 because when deploying this, I need to specify a value, or when calling the function deposit, I need to specify a value, which I have to do. So yeah, need to deploy this again, and I'm going to be quick about this because yeah, Remix is kind of at the moment is not working properly. So just going to put in the value. So I'm just going to use that value and I'm going to deposit, call this function, and I can get the balances from here. So you can see I have this 10,000 in my account. You can also use this function, which will directly get the balance of my account, the message.sender. And also you can withdraw an amount. So I have 10,000 currently. I'm just going to withdraw 5,000 just to prove the points. So when I execute, you can see it has executed successfully. And yeah, I should be able to get a balance, the remaining balance. So this is just a simple smart contract. We've deployed bank. You can deposit, withdraw, get the user's balance, and this is all on the blockchain. That means you can also see, verify, and interact with this. I'm not going to stay much on this because of how the issues we are having with Remix, but this is a good way for you to start developing smart contracts. Yeah. So just to end this stream, I will be having Ken Loyalty to tell us the 165 people watching live what they should do, how they should go about blockchain, if they want to learn where to go. Ken, I'm bringing him back on stage.
All right, GMG everyone. Yeah, it's nice having this section with you guys. Really appreciate. This section is a recorded section. So the video will be available on all our social medias. So guys, you can come back at any time. You can follow us our handles as well. So in case you have any questions, you can just send a direct DMO. Reach us on our social media. Also, you can reach out to on WhatsApp, on Telegram, all the handles we are there. So guys, let's take coding serious. Let's try and code a future as I always tell people. Yes, because what we bring out will have impact in the world. So guys, thank you very much for joining. Really appreciate your time and the energy and everything you're putting in. Let's code till there's no code to code. Thank you guys.
Yeah, just code to there's no code to code. Wow, that's nice. And also, if you are not a developer, don't be afraid. We have many things to do on the blockchain. You can be a social media manager. You can also invent your own way of using the blockchain. So, blockchain is not just about codes or it's not just for developers. Blockchain is for everyone. We have seen the use cases in cryptocurrency where you can trade, you can buy your assets, you can sell your assets, and we are seeing use cases in real world assets where people who have their real world assets on chain can borrow against those real world assets and can do a lot more. We have social media, we have marketers, we have many people on board which are building with blockchain, not just developers. And so we encourage you to just build. If you are someone who does not have the technical expertise or anything like that, just build with blockchain. We have ways of doing that. And so you can join our communities, follow BlockBridge network, and you'll be able to have, access to resources that will help you build. And you can also join our WhatsApp community. So just you comment under this chat, sending all those links where you can find us, you can join us, you can vibe with us, you can talk to us. And if you are building something you want to get the spotlight for your projects, you can also contact us. Just give us, and all of this we are building on blockchain. So have a nice day, guys, and yeah, see you soon.